LIFO is a contraction for life orientations. It's a process that helps us to understand the behaviors that we use most frequently when things are going well in our life, and also the behaviors that we use most frequently when we're not going well, when things are not going well in life, or when we're experiencing stress or conflict. It's interesting that globally, about half the population prefers very similar behaviors during good times and bad times. And also about half the population of the world, when they encounter stress or conflict, they start to use some very different behaviors. Because at first, we need to understand not only its behavioral, but the LIFO process also helps us to understand our intentions, what we intend to do, both when things are going well and when things are not going well. In addition to understand what we actually do and our perception of the impact we're having on other people. So one of the uniquenesses of LIFO is what we call intention, behavior, and impact. When we are consistent between intention, behavior, and impact, our communication tends to be much more clear. And it's much more easy. It's easier for people to understand us, and oftentimes will also come across as being much more authentic to other people. That whether you're an educator or a coach or a psychologist, that you're willing and have a need to understand yourself better. And through understanding yourself better through the process of LIFO, that I think it then equips you better to help other people to learn the process. And I think what's also required in life, including in LIFO, is to have a passion, to be very passionate, to believe in what you're teaching, to be very passionate about that, and knowing that in what you do, you're going to be helping families and couples to understand and strengthen their relationship, and also in work life to help you and another associate, or you and a team, a group, or possibly an entire organization to become more self-aware and consequently also to become more productive. One of the things that really helps me is whether I'm in India, or whether I'm in the United States, or whether I'm in Africa, is I'll ask people, are you familiar with a card game called Uno? My experience is worldwide most people are. And that grabs their attention. What I'll then say to them is, if you can imagine in your hand that you're holding 4 Uno cards, the green number 1, the blue number 1, the red number 1, and the gold number 1, what I'll say to them then is that's the comparison of how we're going to study LIFO and your behavioral preferences. Because each one of those 4 Uno cards represents a behavioral style. And LIFO will help you to understand which of these cards or which one of these behavioral preferences do you prefer most, and also which one do you prefer least. That they prefer to use certain Uno cards more frequently or less frequently when things are going well and when things are not going well. Ultimately, and again, the uniqueness in LIFO to grab their attention is you're holding these 4 cards. And that usually piques people's interest, and then they're more prepared to talk about themselves, their own behaviors, their own strengths, and some of their limitations within their relationships. LIFO has helped me to be a better tennis player. I have always been fairly skilled in tennis equally, both in doubles or singles. LIFO helped me to understand why I'm equally skilled and why I prefer doubles over singles. Because my LIFO preferences tend to be interactive with other people. I'm uncomfortable with being competitive against one opponent across the net, but at least when I have a doubles partner, we can work on this together. And things as simple as that help me to understand LIFO styles. It also helps me to understand how I plan to go on a vacation. Is I need to plan day by day, where sometimes I go on a vacation with people who want to be much more spontaneous than I do. So I think they're very common occurrences in life, and that LIFO can be a vehicle to help you understand that. And on the other hand, there can be some of the most complex issues and complex relationships that we're working on in life, and LIFO too can be the vehicle for understanding there.